Superbooth 21, Tommy from Synanatomy. I'm at the booth of Aero Instruments with Paul Tas. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Nice you're here, man.
And
Cool to be here.
you are a Eurorack developer, and
Yes.
you have a shop, a very special shop, I think.
Yes. We're up to the crazy thing and looking for something special, something different. Yeah.
I think you are not selling the typical synthesizers and not the typical Eurorack modules. I think
Yeah.
your stuff is a bit more nerdy or dirty, industrial, and some
Artistic.
artistic, a bit more unique. Where comes this influence? It comes from your perspective of music making, or is it already?
No. I'm officially more from the art scene. So I'm making paintings and sculptures before, and I was always fascinating about science and technology, and sound art in general. So installations and this kind of things. So I was making more sculptures for fashion industry and also much more paintings before. And then I liked the sounds, and I started more like a hobby. And then I started more deeper in there, circuit bending, diving deeper in there. And before you know it, you make models and you go into Eurorack. And and the shop was first a retailer shop in general, but then all the other shops also starting in Eurorack selling. And it was not so my interest to only sending boxes. So we are creating experimental artistic music devices in general. Yeah.
I always when I make articles, probably you read them. I always think the mad Paul Tas with his ideas. It's always
You look always for the crazy things.
It's always crazy. It's always even the oscillators, the modulators, or even your Loopman, your new one.
Yeah.
It's always a bit outer space. It's always not that doesn't follow the trend. We have
Yeah.
make again an analog oscillator, make an analog filter, make this or this. No, you're doing your very own stuff. Is where you take your ideas? Is you think I need this and this sound, or is it?
Yeah, it's more like cooking. If you are cooking for yourself, always what you like yourself. So I'm making things that I would like myself if they were on a market, and sometimes they're not, or they're for the half, or as DIY project, but not really done. So the thing is to make something and make it really good done. Like Loopman, it's hard if you develop something in a Walkman from the early days. You don't know if you're gonna get this Walkman in 2 years again. So you don't know about it, and you don't know how much you're gonna sell. So but at least I like it to have it. So then I start developing it for myself, and then other people also like it. And before you know it, you sell hundreds of Walkmans. Yeah.
And you're coming from your shop is located in Netherlands, yeah?
We're in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. I'm from Amsterdam. I'm born in Amsterdam. We are close to the airport of Amsterdam, really like 5 minutes. And we also are active in a shop called Beachville that's in Tokyo. So we have one department in Japan, one guy who's taking care of stuff. And we're gonna do a few things on retail, but not on the big guys like Bucks Music or Thomann, but a few smaller ones in different countries: States, Chicago, Scotland, Paris.
And if you make new modules like Lucifer and or your it's called the cloud busting and all the modules, are you the engineer for this, or do you have an extra engineer team making this?
No, I'm working. I was working first by myself, and then I had a student from the HKU. It's an art school in the Netherlands. I take her. Her name is Evje. And then she was my student. She worked half year with me, and then I take her as an employer to work with me. And we have, we're developing on some creative level. Let's call it like that. Yeah, to looking for some other stuff. It's not like one night on LSD and let's see what we're gonna make. It's more like circuit bending, development, and finding spots. What's interesting. It's looking for the border of electronics compartments sometimes can have. Yeah.
So you are the chief director. In which direction it should go, and you said to your engineers, please do this and this sound. Try to achieve this.
Yeah.
So it's more a creative, as an artist collective. Yeah.
That is, it's like that. We make it really also more artistic way. We're not so much focused on tuning. It's not like that everything have one fold per octave tuning. It's really how it sounds. So yeah, the sounds is really important how it sounds, and if you're making a painting, or everything around you is only colors and a form. So everything what you see is just a color and a form, and it looks really spectacular, everything. But actually, it's not so much. It's only two things. But in sound, there's much more. In sounds, it can be a sound can be dark without sound cannot have be a color. But people know what you mean if you say a sound sounds dark, or deep, or high, or you know what I mean. So yeah, this is much more interesting. A delay can be a shadow if you take it physical. You know, like yeah.
You have, I think, for your modules, you have a very interesting way how you design your modules on the interface. Is it also for you an important thing how to play it, or is it in order to try to make it very looking fancy, or what is your approach to designing an interface? Is also a bit different as an artist, or?
Yeah. An interface must be easier to use. It must be. I like symmetric things. Interface. Things can be split. A knob who have a lot of influence can be bigger than a knob that have less influence. There are small tricks to make things more easier, more doable if you're designing something. I'm yeah, I could not, I cannot read. I'm alphabetic or something, so I cannot read the text. And my website is also, people say, where website is this? But this website is not typed in, it's talked in. That's why it's sometimes weird. But this is why the people call me error when I was young, because I could not read. So the normal schools, so I never read manuals of music instruments, I just start somewhere. And yeah, and I want that my stuff is also used like that people don't have to dive too much in manuals and finding sweet spots and looking like that to things.
And your products are handmade, I think.
Yeah.
So because I always see on your website they are limited in 10 units, or so it's. You think you don't want to expand into more and more units. It's more to have unique or more limited editions, or is it just a resource thing for you as a manufacturer?
What I do, I make, for example, 10 models, and if they're going good and I like them, I ask my employers to also work with me, and we're making more batch, and again a batch, if it works good. And yeah, and sometimes it's also maybe too weird, or we cannot find the products that we used in this time.
So it's better to buy an aero instrument module earlier than too late.
True. But it's not only about selling and buying. I'm doing this also because I like it. And I think maybe if I put the energy in this that I put in a coffee machine that everybody's using, that you can be much richer if it's about money. But it's more the passion, and if you like what you're doing, it's more important.
And I think you are one of the first companies that say on your own deco noise and creative synth art, so you bundle everything your passion for.
Yeah. This is what it's about. It's like if you're fascinated about what you're doing, you get power to develop more and more and more. And yeah, last time we working too hard, also because of the COVID. We have nothing else to do than working, so it doesn't matter to develop more. And yeah, but
I saw every month a new aero instrument module.
Yeah. We have a lot of orders. We have a lot of development, and there is in this place 2022 with the sensors you can use and the sounds that you can use for microcontrollers. Yeah, it's nice to make it. Why not? If you can do it, if you find a way. And we're gonna go deeper in this, and gonna be more.
And for Superbooth 21. You have several new modules, and you have several. One very cool and very bizarre one. It's the Loopman.
Yeah.
And other models also, or?
Yeah, we have Lucifer. We have Loopman in Eurorack. We had it in standalone, And yeah, it's a kind of Walkman that we make in a Eurorack that you can record your waveforms on. So it's a people always think, is it a delay or this or this? No, it's just really recording. Of course, you can do the pitch with control voltage. You can use a gate, a low pass gate to open it. You can, so it has a radio inside. You can make a drum sound with it. You can do a lot of weird things with it. And it's nice to have this choral sound of tape in the rack, you know? Yeah. And it comes with a loop tape. Sorry, and it's only 5 seconds. So yeah, then it goes like this. Yeah.
So we are very limited in recording something. You are limited to 5 seconds.
No. It's like you can also record on a bigger tape.
Bigger, yeah.
Of course, there's also a bigger tape. But the good thing about the loop tape, it's always come back. So and you can control in different speeds. So the different speeds makes it that 5 seconds can be 10 seconds, for example, if you want that. But yeah.
Maybe we should take a closer look at the modules.
Yeah. Why not?
So Paul is already patching wild things here. So this is the rose one is the Loopman, yeah?
Yes, we have it in different colors, in black and in pink and in blue. It comes like this, open. Under here there is the speed control, the pitch. There is a sensor here, and the sensor can on and off. There's a gated output, a gate in, a control voltage in for the speed of this one, an input and a through, so you can listen what you're recording. Now there's a small piano loop in there.
I just ask myself, are you bought a stock of old cassette recorders, or are these new developments, or?
Yeah, these are actually new cassette recorders, or new. They are 3 years old, and you must have a batch from 2017. Then it will work, because you cannot use every Walkman like a looper or like a recorder. You cannot add everywhere the pitch on the motor, and not every Walkman. Not every Walkman works on USB. For example, this is a standalone, and in the 80s, 90s we didn't have this plug.
A bit higher?
Yes, sorry. This is the standalone version, and this has a USB. So from there you can see it's a kind of new one. Yeah. It has also a radio. Yeah. The sensor, I can make the sound more wibbly. It will almost stop, and here we go. Of course, you can do that also with an LFO. Now it's controlled by an LFO, like womp, womp, like that. What's also nice is there is a radio built in this thing. You hear now, and then you go to the gate output, and then you hear a kind of snare. So you're making a kind of snare from a radio wave AM signal from a radio. You can find a lot of spots to find nice drums. This is the AM. It gets triggered by grids from mutable instruments at the moment. Now the trigger is gone. it's funny to know you can also record from the radio. So with the cassetter, you can recording noises in a loop tape to use this also as a drum, and then you can change the speed of the noise of the loop tape that you're playing for drum to stretch this kind of noise out. Or now I'm using it just with the piano. What's the loop on the tape? So actually, it's a simple machine. It's a simple machine which you can use in your rack as for a lot of functions. You can also record on it. I don't have the loop tape now in there, otherwise I would make a small record. This is just a regular tape, and yeah, it comes always with a loop tape if people buy it or have it.
It's an old-fashioned sampler.
Yeah.
So you have taken out the idea of a sampler with all the normal or the modern samplers in your rack. You have tons of features, granular and so on. You reduce it to the minimal and make it vintage again.
Yeah. Somehow it's a twist between a mellow man and a sampler. Yeah, you can also play this with a Keystep Pro in Notes, for example, if you record something. Okay. Yeah, it's a strange thing. It's also for me quite strange, but yeah, I like to I make what I like myself, you know. So yeah.
And it's in a crazy rack. I think the most craziest rack, a crazy rack in the anti-Superbooth, making the craziest noise.
Yeah.
You see the new Spanky. I see the liquid glitcher and so on.
Yeah.
Some wonderful modules, and also maybe you can see it. Yeah, I think this is also very unique. This little.
This one. I can plug it in also. Yes, man. This is just a music box. We have the Lullaby in passive, and we have an in active with an amplifier in there, and we have to it's a universal size, so people can take it out, and from the back you can screw it open and put another one in there. Yeah.
Crazy ideas.
And this form you have even from the Beatles still, and everything you want to buy on the internet.
And I see the cloud busting you have. This doesn't use the classic module cables, but this.
Yes. That's cloud busting is like it's a different language. I will try to show this. Cloud busting. Cloud busting is a modular synthesizer model with a patch bay, and it has a different language than the regular. It's not 5. It goes on data. It goes on 2 voltage, so that people cannot make the mistake by using jacks. We decided to use alligator clips like a few years ago, and there are now more versions of this cloud busting. And yeah, there's a lot of sweet spot there. It's the sound is really warm.
So it's an oscillator, right?
Yes. There's an oscillator, and these are the inputs and outputs. So it's a bridge. So if I go to the master plum. It's more for soundscapes and deeper music, ambience. It can also be droning. A lot of air in the sound, a lot of air.
Sounds very organic.
Yeah, it's very organic.
And it's a code from your developer, or?
No, it's I get it actually the code from a Japanese guy, but I hear the developer from the code was in the United States.
As I already said, Arrow Instruments is a wild trip.
A wild trip. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Arrow Instruments, your website is arrowinstruments.com? Yeah.
Yes, arrowinstrument.com, the only website who's having a little bit crazy stuff and with a lot of errors in there.
So if you are bored by the industry with some of the modules and so, visit Paul Tas website because it's full of a bit more crazy stuff.
Yeah,
and
people are welcome always.
And the Loopman is already available, or it's?
Yeah, the Loopman is available in Eurek also. It's a lot of sales. There's possible that the batch is sold out. There's a new batch is coming in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's available and it works really, really good. Yeah.
And the price is?
The Loopman standalone is like ex-VAT, maybe 219, and the other one is 270 ex-VAT. It depends where you live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for this
man.
trip. Little overview about your laboratory industrial.
Yeah.
An amazing trip, and I wish you a good Superbooth 21 because it's still one day. It's today and tomorrow. So I wish you good luck.
Have a good time. Good artists here playing. It's nice setup in the forest. I like it. It's festival feeling. And good
Thank
you're
you.
here too, man.
Thank you. And so if you enjoyed this video, please follow again and hope to see you again in the next videos here on the Synths YouTube channel about the Superbooth 21. Bye.